Loving someone is uncontrollable. Maybe you won't even notice it yourself. But that person's shadow appears everywhere in your life, no matter what you do. That person's image always flashes through your mind. Thinking about that person, missing that person. The one you love in your heart is always that person. Some people say this is an obsession. But if you look at it from another angle, this obsession is like the laws of the universe itself, omnipresent and irresistible. You think this is tenderness in your heart, but it is surprisingly similar to the most ancient force in the universe. 30 seconds have passed. In your heart has a certain name already surfaced. That name to you is like the gravitational center of your life. You cannot escape it, nor can you forget it. When Newton saw an apple fall, he proposed the law of universal gravitation. He discovered everything in the universe attracts each other. Simply put, as long as something exists, it will pull on everything else. Isn't this very much like love? You think you willingly draw closer, but actually within that invisible gravitational force, you slowly lose direction. At this point, you can start asking yourself a question. Are you obsessed with that person? Or is the universe using him to awaken the gravity in your heart? When we look up at the night sky, we always feel an indescribable emotion. American astronomer Carl Sagan once said, "We are all children of the stars." The meaning behind this statement is the atoms in your body. We are all born from stellar explosions billions of years ago. In other words, you and the person you love essentially come from the same stardust. When you miss him, you are actually having a conversation with your original cosmic self. Isn't that wonderful? That obsession in your heart was never just about one person, but about the imprint left by the universe itself. And the most obvious feeling when loving another person is the difference in time. When you're together with him, time always seems to fly by, but once you separate, every minute feels as long as a year. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity might explain this feeling. Space and time bend with mass and energy. In other words, if that person is the star in your life, his very existence will make your time different. In love, you experience the expansion and contraction of your own space-time. This is an extremely real yet indescribable experience. You see, this is not an illusion. This is the universe's projection in your emotions. German philosopher Kant, when talking about the starry sky above and the moral law within, said these were things that filled him with awe, applied to love. You can understand it this way. The starry sky is infinite. Your heart is also infinite. When you love someone, that expansive feeling in your heart is the contrast between infinite and infinite. Kant's meaning is, humans can feel the greatness of the universe, while also feeling the greatness of the heart, and love is precisely the intersection of this greatness. Of course, some people would say, love is nothing but a chemical reaction. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio discovered through research, human love and attachment relate to the secretion of dopamine, oxytocin, and other substances in the brain. That's right. From a scientific perspective, this is just a chemical process. But if you only use cold explanations to view love, then it loses its meaning. American physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson reminds us, understanding the universe isn't just knowing how it works, but also knowing our place in the universe. Love is what helps you find your place when you meet someone in the vast sea of humanity. This isn't just dopamine secretion, but the universe using some method to tell you, between you and him, there exists an invisible space-time curve. Astrophysicist Brian Greene mentioned a viewpoint. The universe is incredibly complex, and our existence is itself a low-probability miracle. Think about it. There are hundreds of billions of stars in the Milky Way, yet in your lifetime you encountered that person. That wasn't inevitable, but an extremely low-probability event. Love is like the birth of Earth, requiring countless coincidental conditions to appear. You're meeting with him, one of the rarest moments in the universe. But love isn't always beautiful. It often brings pain, brings struggle. Stephen Hawking once said, "Look up at the stars, not down at your feet." Throughout his life, he was trapped by illness, yet always kept his gaze toward the edge of the universe. He studied black holes, proposing they might not be endings, but starting points for new birth. Love is the same way. When you think loss means destruction, it is actually nurturing another kind of rebirth. That obsession might not become companionship, but will transform into energy in your heart, propelling you to continue living. Just like a star's, death nurtures new stars. Newton tells us, love is gravity. Sagan says love is stardust. Einstein says love can bend space-time. Kant says love is as profound as the starry sky. Damasio reminds us love has a chemical foundation. Tyson says love helps us find our place. Greene says love is a miracle of the universe. Hawking says love can transcend endings. You see, these scientists and philosophers use different languages to interpret the universe. But if you put their thoughts together, you'll find they all seem to be telling us, love, like the universe, cannot be completely explained, yet exists everywhere. So have you ever thought about this question? Why do humans obsess over loving someone they can never have? Why, knowing it will cause pain, do we still push ourselves toward black holes again and again? Perhaps. This is the deepest similarity between humans and the universe. The universe's origin was a big bang. From chaos to order. From darkness to light. Love is the same way, from heartbeat to deep affection. From confusion to obsession. All the struggles in your life are actually the universe's reflection upon you. You cannot resist it, just as planets cannot resist gravity. So, when you look up at the starry sky again, please don't feel lonely. That obsession in your heart, that love, no matter what the outcome, has already merged with the universe's pulse. It burns like a star, and leaves behind light. Even if the star falls, the light will still travel across billions of light years. Shining into your eyes, the person you once loved may have already gone far away. But that light will always exist. It will become the coordinates in your life, reminding you that you once lived passionately, and reminding you, you have always been part of this vast universe.